Hi, welcome to Professor Kev Show. As you can see, I have my friend Tanmay with us from Future Lead. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me here.
So before we jump in, tell me a little bit about yourself. What should the audience know about you?
Of course. So I'm 16 years old. I'm a junior in high school right now. And in the future, I aspire to become an entrepreneur and an advocate for change. Apart from other things, I do love basketball. I love geography and visiting other places. And I love making friends, meeting new people. Overall, I love just doing things that can actually help the world.
So tell me a little bit about Future Lead. Why'd you start this? What need, what opportunity did you see?
So, Future Lead is an international organization I started with helping my friends around a year ago. And the organization itself is primarily dedicated to mentoring students with business and leadership concepts. And our whole goal is to make learning fun and to help put students in the shoes of real world leaders and let them learn through engagement rather than just listening. So, I wouldn't say there was a specific moment that made me start Future Lead, but when it comes to the reason itself, I would say since sixth grade, I've always dreamed of going into entrepreneurship and politics and or advocacy. Like that has always been a thing for me. But one thing that always frustrated me was that there's always a lack of entrepreneurship, leadership, or business readiness education in schools. And on top of that, when they did teach something about them, they're always so boring. These are skills that should be taught in a sense where students get to practice what they're taught, and the fact they were not doing that always frustrated me. So I decided, why not just address it myself? And that's what led to the founding of Future Lead.
So tell me about some of the challenges you faced starting this idea.
There's definitely been a couple. So I think by far the biggest one has been, organization and structure, because it's hard to find a real guide on how to start a nonprofit as a youth. So because you have to figure out all the documents, all the things you need to have in the background. Say if you want to do this, all of a sudden you have to fill out 3 pieces of paperwork. If you want to do that, all of a sudden you have another 20 pieces of paperwork. So it definitely has been a huge challenge just trying to understand, research, and figure out all the things that you need to know to run a nonprofit. Because again, it's hard to find that information all in one place. So that's definitely something I hope to also address soon. But that's definitely been the biggest challenge. Alongside that, just the funding and scalability.
All right, so flip it over. Tell me about some of the successes you've had so far.
Oh, definitely. I'm glad to talk about that. So recently, what we actually did was, while we started a bit earlier, we mainly did this in summer, is we started expansion because we do a couple things, right? So workshops, advocacy, social media, fundraising, all sorts of things. But the main thing that we were built off of was workshops. And one thing we always struggled with was that we know kids all around the world want to have access to this kind of education. But we're in a local area. It's hard for a kid 100 miles away to come to our workshops. So what we did to address that is instead we came to the students. So we worked with high schoolers across the world to help them create their own branch of Future Lead. So in other words, they're doing exactly what we're doing in their area. So through that, we've gotten to 12 chapters in the United States, including 5 in Metro Atlanta, 1 in Massachusetts, 2 in Texas, 2 in Tennessee. So along with 1 in Washington. And on top of that, we're working to officially register in Bangladesh and India to help bring our works international right now. So that's definitely been one of our biggest successes. Along with that, we're looking a lot into advocacy because we don't just want to make change now. We want to make systemic change that it continues into the future. So what we've done is we're working with legislators for right now, as we're based out of Georgia, that's where we're working, but we can hope to continue this nationally and internationally. We're working with legislators across the state to push for more business and leadership education reform. That way we can directly help every student across the state get equal access to business leadership.
So it's crystal ball time, my friend. Where do you see this idea in 3 years?
Ooh. So I think there's definitely a lot of ways it can go, and I believe we'll definitely go the most successful route possible. And I believe that, like I said earlier, is systemic change. So it is not enough for us to just see kids just getting access to these workshops. What we want to see is where we have change where regardless if they have the workshop or not, they're able to learn about business leadership education, be it through schools, through other nonprofits, however it's done, we want to make sure students can get the education that they want and need. So definitely our biggest goal is to push for systemic change where we can push for laws, policies, things that can actually make an impact. And on top of that, make it so every student will have access to leadership and business education overall.
So what's the best way for people to reach out to you? How can they learn more about your idea?
Oh yeah, so there are a couple ways. For one, they can always reach out to us on our Instagram. It's at futurelead_NGO. Along with that, we have our website, which is futureleadngo.org. And then one other way is through our email, which is futureleadamerica@gmail.com. Blank for a second.
Awesome. I appreciate you taking a few minutes calling the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here. This is great.